Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Avatar The Last Airbender. I am Mike with Mike W Productions. You probably have known that if you've watched any of the videos previous to this one, but if not, welcome to the channel. So, this episode, I'm not going to do the watch and react part. I'm just going to talk to you guys about the episode. There's really not a whole lot that's going into this episode. This is, again, one of at least two fillers that we have left. This one really has very little to do with anything in the Avatar world. It's kind of a character building episode, but it's really an unnecessary one. It just kind of fills in a blank that not a whole lot of people were looking for to be filled in. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Here we go. So at the beginning of this episode, we see that Aang and the gang and a few of the people that we've rescued earlier are all at the air temple, and, well, they're all knocked out, sleeping. It's pretty early in the morning, and we see that Aang is kind of waking up when suddenly cylindrical thing flies through, and Aang hits it, and it goes out and blows up. Then we see that the war balloons start rising from the mist of the clouds below. We are now being attacked by the Fire Nation. They then push themselves to the back of the air temple into a little cave.
Come on, we can get out through here!
And they can't get Appa through, of course, because he's, like a 2 to 3 ton flying bison.
I can't get him to go in there! Appa hates tunnels!
So he's a pretty big boy. So they tell, Sokka and Katara's dad and the rest of the guys to go through the tunnel, and they'll go out where basically the Fire Nation is. And Suki decides to come with them. And they basically do. They rush through the air temple, they get through, and they fly past. There's a little bit of a scrimmage between Azula and Prince Zuko. And the war blimps are attacking them as well. So there's that, but they were able to escape. They do end up on basically a island, and they basically take a camping day.
Wow, camping. It really seems like old times again, doesn't it?
A little bit of fun stuff happens. Suki is there and wants to hang out with Sokka, but, they're all hanging out at the campfire. And so they're talking about stuff and kind of welcoming Prince Zuko into the group.
If you really wanted to feel like old times, I could chase you around.
And saying basically how he was the bad guy and now he's not the bad guy, and that's kind of a good thing for them. And Katara is kind of peeved by this because she still has some negative feelings about what happened in the cave where he betrayed them all.
Ha ha.
He was kind of acting like a good guy, and then he turned on them and helped his sister instead. So that's not too great of a thing, and she's not quite over it yet. We do come to find out because Prince Zuko goes to Sokka's tent, which he was pretty much expecting Suki to come in. Kind of an awkward moment, but
Well, hello!
yeah, we quickly get over that, and we find out what actually happened that made Katara not like Prince Zuko.
Katara doesn't hate anyone.
But I want you to tell me what happened to your mother.
So we get a little bit of that story, but not a whole lot. We do find out that the Fire Nation came in and killed both Sokka and Katara's mom,
Many of the warriors had seen the Black Snow before.
and that they just kind of left after that, and all of their menfolk went off to war because of that attack. We do find out that it was the Southern Raiders, and Prince Zuko, in an attempt of making an appeasement, said, "Hey, I will help you go get, justice / revenge."
I know who killed your mother, and I'm going to help you find him.
And so they go and ask Aang if they can borrow Appa and fly off and go take care of some business. Go a little John Wicky on them.
I need to borrow Appa. Why? Is it your turn to take a little field trip with Zuko?
Of course, Aang says no, because that's not how you do things. You need to forgive them.
You're feeling unbelievable pain and rage.
It's about getting closure.
I think it's about getting revenge.
Blah, blah, blah. Later on that night, of course, they do end up trying to kidnap or steal Appa.
So you were just gonna take Appa anyway?
And Aang finds out about it, gets a little miffed,
Yes.
but forgives them anyways, trying to
It's okay, because I forgive you. That give you any ideas?
do a virtue signaling point that it is better to forgive than to get revenge, which is okay, but it's a little heavy-handed if you ask me. So yeah, he ends up saying, "Okay, whatever, you guys are going to do it anyways. I might as well let you guys borrow Appa."
Don't try to stop us. I wasn't planning to. This is a journey you need to take.
And go off and have your one-on-one with Prince Zuko. We've all had one pretty much now anyways. It's your turn.
Please don't choose revenge. Let your anger out, then let it go.
Even though she's actually had one when they were, prisoners. Going on from there, they start looking for this person who killed her mom.
All the Navy's movements are coordinated by Messenger Hawk.
So they end up going to this place where they direct all of the ships,
So once we find a communication tower, we bust in and take the information we need.
and they see, okay, these guys are here,
Bam! On patrol near Whaletail Island.
and they basically attack the ship. But they find out that the captain of the ship is not the same captain who killed the mom,
It's not him.
because he retired,
He retired 4 years ago.
and they leave. Come to find out that the old captain or admiral or whoever he was at the time was retired, and he's living with his mom, farming.
Yanra!
Well, his mom's not very nice and
You lazy piece of work! I need something!
doesn't want to eat vegetables anymore,
Tomato carrots from your garden are too hard for my gums!
so she sends him off to the market to get some real food, as she says.
Get your grimy hiney to the market and buy me some real food!
Okay, kind of interesting. That could be considered punishment enough that, having to deal with the nagging parent when you're so old thing could be considered punishment enough. Not when it comes to the death of your parents, but it's kind of a slow burn of torture, if you ask me. So he goes off to the market. He feels like he's being followed. He keeps looking behind himself and asks, the clerk if someone's watching him.
Hello?
He's not paying attention, so he says no, blah, blah, blah.
Did you see someone?
So he's walking home. He still has that feeling of somebody is watching him, and so he basically blows up a tree.
He sneaks up on me without getting burned!
So Katara and Prince Zuko pop out and say, yeah, we weren't in that tree or that bush.
We weren't behind the bush.
They basically kind of attack the guy.
And I wouldn't try firebending again.
Ask him, do you know who I am? Do you remember me?
Do you know who I am?
And so we get a nice little flashback of Katara and what actually happened.
Just let her go, and I'll give you the information you want.
You heard your mother.
She was a part of that whole attack.
Mom, I'm scared.
Go find your dad, sweetie.
We find out that they were coming to find her. He's wondering who the waterbender is.
Who's the waterbender?
She says, I'm the waterbender.
It's me. Take me as your prisoner.
Takes the mom, but says, I'm not taking prisoners.
I'm afraid I'm not taking prisoners today.
It's raining at this point, and Katara makes a big bubble and gets mad and is about to hit him with a bunch of icicles, but then she suddenly stops and she basically says,
I think I understand. There's just nothing inside you.
it's not worth it. He's an old man, 1, 2, his life's not all that great.
You're pathetic and sad and empty.
And so she lets him go. She doesn't get revenge, but she also doesn't forgive him.
As much as I hate you, I just can't do it.
Which is okay, because, you don't always have to forgive, but you can forgive but not forget, and she's going to forgive him but not forget what he's done. So they run away, they go back to the thing, and they have a little conversation with Aang.
You did the right thing. Forgiveness is the first step you have to take to begin healing.
And so that's pretty much the episode, is that she went and almost got her revenge, but revenge wasn't worth it.
But I didn't forgive him. I'll never forgive him.
So with that being said, that is the story. So let's talk about it. Alright, so this episode was pretty good. It's such a short episode, nothing really happens. There's no real character development other than Katara, but we've been developing Katara since the beginning. Prince Zuko had an outing with her. Yay. He didn't have any character development. He's still Prince Zuko. So there's that. The overall episode was just them kind of running around doing stuff, which at this point really shouldn't be happening because we're supposed to be killing the Fire Lord, or at least stopping the Fire Lord in some way. There was one thing at the very end of the episode where he's talking to Katara and Prince Zuko, and he says, well, I'm glad you didn't kill him, and
Violence wasn't the answer.
It never is.
Prince Zuko says, right, but how are you going to stop and not kill the Fire Lord?
Then I have a question for you. What are you gonna do when you face my father?
And that was kind of the whole point of this episode, was that last line, which again is kind of annoying because we didn't really need it to get to that little question mark of oh yeah, how is he going to stop the Fire Lord without killing him? There's multiple ways of doing that, especially if you're a fully realized Avatar, but he didn't do the chakra thing, so he can't go into the Avatar state, but we'll figure that out as we go along. Now, this episode was kind of a filler episode. It made a point, but it really wasn't all that necessary. The next episode is majoritively really, really dumb, and it's a super filler episode. So that is, I believe the play episode is the next episode. It's really, I'm going to probably do something like this where I just talk about it, because there's not really much going on besides them basically doing a, hey, do you remember when that happened type thing. There might be some stuff at the beginning that's kind of character development, but other than that, it's just the play, which is a big, oh, hey, remember that thing that happened, but we're getting it wrong on purpose now because, you know, plays are plays and you have to take creative licensing. So yeah, the next one's probably not going to be the greatest either, but then there is a 3-part last episode. I do believe that they break it down into 3 episodes, so that's what I will do, because if not, it's an hour and a half of just straight through Avatar, the last 3 episodes. So, I mean, and I really wanted to be able to break them down by, like, what's actually going on, because we meet a lot of old characters, a lot of development stuff happens, a lot of mental breakdowns happen, and a lot of fighting. So the next 4 episodes will be pretty interesting, except for this next one. So the last 3 episodes are going to be great because it's the last 3 episodes, but we have to get through the play. So with that being said, hopefully you guys like this little review. We didn't really watch it, but I probably put some stuff up there for you guys to see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So if you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Nobody sees it anyways. If you guys want to see more of this, I am doing this and All in the Family. So if you like this video and or All in the Family, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button.
Don't worry about it. You're still in good shape. All you got to do is just tap it in. Just tap it in now.
And with that being said, I do want to thank all of my subscribers. I want to thank you guys for getting this far in the video, and we will see you next time. Peace.